Well, greetings everyone. Welcome to Gerard Black in the Philippines with the truth. I want to welcome you to my channel, all my subscribers, all my future subscribers, and my number of my subscription is moving up tick, tick, tick slowly, and I appreciate you. All my peaches, triggers, lovers, haters, commenters, each and every one of you, and scallywags. Can't forget the scallywags. We need scallywags like we need haters. Each and every one of you, I want to welcome you to my channel. Well, what I thought, you would not believe it, I'm in another brownout. So rather than waiting and hoping that it comes on, I said, I know, let me do a video in a brownout. So this way you see what it is and what's going on. Well, I have both my phones. I have one with the flashlight capabilities on it. Of course, the other one doing the recording. You know, there are a couple of things that's going through my mind. As uh, for some reason or other, I'm starting to get a little anxious about the baby coming. Here we are, going into our eighth month, or it's due the end of February or the beginning of March or somewhere, and already with end of January. So, of course, the anticipation is starting to build a little bit. I have to do more talking to it in the womb, so to speak. I got an idea for a video that I want to do that I'm going to post. And Mia had gone shopping yesterday. I took her shopping and all that stuff, and she stopped at one of these little, like one of these. It would be considered a 5 and 10 store, or either a dollar store or something like that along those lines. Here in the Philippines, there are several of them where you can go in and it has virtually everything, all nuts and bolts and everything you need. And she got these mats. These mats that are like puzzles. You put them together and you kind of make a rug out of it. It has ABCs and all that stuff on it like that, and put it on the floor and all that stuff. So yesterday, I saw them. She had them stacked up by the bathroom door. She wasn't hiding them or anything like that. They were just there. So I said to her, I said, I looked at him and I said, wow, there's an awful lot of pink in here. I said, I wonder if she she might be letting the cat out of the bag. And so I said, Mia, I said, there's an awful lot of pink in here. Am I to assume that it's going to be a girl? Like this. But she didn't say anything. So I didn't push the issue. She kind of chuckled and, one of those type of things. So who knows, right now, this is the clearest sign I've gotten, that it may be a girl. It's funny because I was with Calvin and Calvin built up this thing to Gerard, no, I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you. I said, tell me what, Calvin? He said, no, I shouldn't tell you. I promise not to tell you. I said, well, Calvin, you already started. I hate when people do that. Like, yo, man, I should tell you this, but I'm not gonna tell you. Like, oh well, Calvin already started. He says, Gerard, she knows what it is if it's a girl or boy. I said, oh my God. I said, Calvin, I know that. Biology tells me that, that she knows. When she goes for an exam and have a sonogram and all that stuff. So I said, okay, Calvin, thank you for proving to me that you can't keep a secret. So he did this big build up about the secret type of thing, and so what is all like that. But today I'm supposed to be doing my live. We'll do my live at 7 o'clock. So I don't know what kind of effect this brownout is. It's kind of early because usually the brownouts happen like 5 or 6, and usually off for 12 hours. So we just have to just wait and see. And I know with my cell phone here, I'm able to post a video because I use the hotspot from this phone to still be able to have internet access. So you might get this one just posted raw, hip hop. What I said, urban hip hop raw, the truth. That's what I was trying to remember because that was the slogan that came up. Hip hop, urban hip hop, urban raw, the truth. But that's what I claim my magazine to be. hip hop because it recognized the dominating force in music since 1998, and I know that for a fact because I was in the joint and I was reading everything that was put in front of me, and then I read that hip hop had passed the most popular music genre at the time, and that was country. So I know in 1998 was when hip hop actually dominated the music world. Uh, um, Hip hop urban. Urban because it was another product manifested from the streets. There are no big donors or contributors or advertisers coming into the magazine. It was just, just you and me. And it was funny because I knew a guy who had a magazine who was helping me, I was trying to get some pointers from him. And I can't remember his name, but his magazine was called Pomo Magazine on Long Island, and he had a nice glossy magazine. I looked at it, and he had all these big tire ads and these top shelf bottle ads, Cavassier, all that stuff. Like, wow, man, how you get all those advertisements, like this? Because I was struggling trying to get advertisements for my own magazine. And then they come to find out that he was just scanning the ads from other publications and putting them in his publication. That way, if someone's looking at it, a possible, advertiser would say, "Wow, man, you got some good ads in here. Yeah, I want to be in this magazine because it meant that you had, a lot of people looking at it." So, and then I learned that that was the scam. What he was doing was putting ads in there that really didn't belong. He had a hell of a graphic artist. His name was Houdini. Shout out to Houdini if you're watching this or if you by chance come across it. And urban and raw because hip hop, urban, raw because what you see is what you get. Like I said, no special takes on this here, not a whole lot of editing other than I don't know, no major editing. I might put what little bit I know, but no airbrushing and all that stuff like that. Is what you see is what you get, and the truth was because they was paying homage to the Godfather soul, Mr. James Brown and Bonnie Hilton Sweeney, who was the founder of the Programming Party, and the Godfather magazine called The Truth, which I was the East Coast representative of. So, and a photographer's magazine because it's because I'm a photographer. I'm a mediocre photographer. Why do I call myself a mediocre photographer? Because I remember when I was going to school, I used to drive a New York taxi cab. I used to work at Ford Motor Company, and I used to go to school. I was like Jamaican, had three jobs. You know what I'm saying? And so, when I went to my photography class at night, I used to be finished with my enlargement processing assignment, and I would hop up on the enlarger and put my hand up against the enlarger, and I would go to sleep. And then, one time the instructor came in. His name was Mr. Nevercheck. Mr. Nevercheck, and shout out to you, Mr. Nevercheck, wherever you are, if you happen to come across this, or maybe go like this because someone's talking about you. So anyway, he was a photographer who did travel brochures. He's traveled around the world doing brochures and all that stuff like that. So he walked in and said, "Sleep, sleep, sleep, Gerard, sleep. You could always be a mediocre photographer." And you know what? That stuck with me. That's all I ever considered myself was a mediocre photographer. Why? Because I never delved into the instructions of a camera, or read a photography book. All I knew is how to push buttons. And if you take a lot of pictures of something, you're bound to get something correct. And so, I will always label myself as a media photographer. Remember, in my work, I was a freelance publicity photographer, but all I need was one picture. And most of the time, let's say 98% of the pictures I took appeared in a publication somewhere around the world because I used to get sent out or I used to come across, high profile events. When I drove my cab in New York, I used to look for movie sets and I would pass a movie set. When I drop off my passage, I would come back and I would park my cab and I would get out and talk to production crew. I said, "Well, who's in the movie? Who's this? Who's that?" And so I came across one. I'll tell you this one story. I came across this one, and it was with Sylvester Stallone. It was Sylvester Stallone and Lindsay Wagner who were shooting the movie, I think, on Cliffhanger, or I think it was Cliffhanger. And so anyway, so You know, they shoot movies in different sequels. They shoot maybe the ending first, or like this, and they move it around, and this is how they do it. So I had my camera, so I ducked across the street. I went one of these brownstone buildings, and I crouched down by the window, and I started taking pictures. I said, okay, I got it. And I just at this scene, Sylvester, you might remember if you saw the movie. Sylvester comes down the stairs, this brownstone, and he's killed, I guess, the enemy. I never saw the movie. He killed the enemy, shakes his head, like that, and then and so I'm starting to walk up the movie set, and then the director comes over with the police and said, "Hey," he says, "Where you going?" He says, "You can't leave here with that film." And I said, "What are you talking about? This is my film." He says, "No, you don't understand. We have the permit to be on this block. That means we control everything what happens on this block." He said, "You just photographed the end scene of a major motion picture." He says, "You have two options. You can either give us the film, we take the film, we'll buy the film off." It's three options. So I said, "Okay." I said, "I'll sell it to you in one condition." He said, "What?" He said, "The condition is that at the end of the shoot, I get a shot of Sylvester Stallone and Lindsay Wagner." So he said, "Yeah." He says, "Oh, okay, okay." And $100. $100. So they like passed the hat. It came around like about $96 or $95 or maybe $85. They came close to it. So they gave me the money. So now I felt I'm part of the movie set. So now I'm sitting in one of the director's chairs. I'm sitting in one of the director's chairs like this, watching them film the movie. So when the movie was over, I see Lindsay Wagner coming down. She got a coat on, and she has a husband with her. So I get up to go take the picture of Lindsay, and Lindsay puts her hands in front of the lens, hey, like this, and I can't take a picture of her. So I turned to her and I said, "Yo," I said, "What's up? We had an agreement. I'm going to photograph Lindsay and also photograph Sylvester Stallone." He said, "Okay, wait a minute. Go get Sly." So they went and they got Sylvester Stallone and Sylvester, say that fire, Sylvester Stallone came down and he gave me this look like I think I swear he must have went to school, to to look as bad as he can on camera, and he gave us a look and because this was like I'm nervous now, I'm a new photographer, I'm a new jack in this game and I never read anything about the manual flash and all that stuff. So the flash was on full, so when I popped, I must have blinded him because he went like this. But the picture came so washed out because there was so much flash on him that I was lucky. I was lucky to get a good shot out of it, exposure wise. Not because of the way Slide gave me the look. So he gave me a shot of Sylvester. I got the shot of Sylvester Stallone. So okay, case that out. So anyway, so that's what I mean when I say I'm just a mediocre photographer. If I knew my schlick, I probably would be able to compensate, the lighting, the distance, and all that stuff, and got the best exposure bracket and all that stuff. But anyway, so Hip Hop Urban War, the Truth of Photographers Magazine. So anyway, so that was the story. I'm throwing it like this. So I was talking about, wanting to talk to the baby a little bit more. I feel compelled to do that now. And like I said, I have this thing set up in my head. But something else that came across my mind is that I think, I never had the sex talk with my family or with my father or with anyone of great maturity other than me and my cousin sit around literally doing circle jerks. And then, on this one path, and shout out to my cousin Johnny. I have to say, Johnny just passed away. He was one of my first cousins, and my condolences to the family. I wish I could be there. If I was there, I would be there. I would say there's nothing that brings a family together more than weddings and funerals, and so again, my condolences for Johnny, for passing away, and the McLeod family. He was a special cat. So anyway, so yeah, so I forgot what. Oh yeah, shout out to him. Oh yeah, I know what it's talking about. So we used to do circle jerks and all that stuff, and see who could ejaculate and all that stuff like that. I had to work extra hard at it. I was a late, volcano eruption. Let's just say. But anyway, so I'm thinking about maybe it's time for me to have to talk with maybe Raphael, have that sex talk with my boys, because now we're in an age of internet, computer, all that stuff like that, and they can get what they want. The movies they see, all this stuff, and they see it going on. But they see this, but no one's talking about. I don't think they're watching anything about the passion, the love, the feelings that man and woman should have toward each other, that makes that unit very, very special, so I'm pushing toward wanting to have that conversation with them, if anything, just to have it. I mean, Raphael and I already talked about reproduction in one of his classwork, so they're talking about that. So I think I will. And when I do, you will be there. Okay. So this is Gerard, Black in the Philippines with the truth in a brownout. Remember, dreams are nothing more than plans awaiting action. Never disrespect the other, always pull someone up. And sometimes you're the only one to see your vision. And the best revenge in life is to live good. I'm living good today. Hope you are too. And if you're lucky enough to have a woman like Ollie Woodson, formerly singing the Temptation One song, treat her like a lady. And ladies, if you're lucky enough to have a good man like me, make him feel like a king. And never say no. I'll always love you more. May you live to be 100, me 100 minus a day. So I'll never know that nice people like you have gone away. Love you like a love song, baby. I'll talk to you later. Peace. How long this is going to be going on? Who knows?